Hey guys, how's it going? It is Kire here with another Infinite Magicraid video. And in today's video, these are going to be the events to be looking out for in the upcoming days here in Infinite Magicraid. So at the time of recording this is the 21st. Information on when the new ones are coming out. This is through the patch notes. I figured a visual representation of the upcoming events would just be a little easier to understand. And then also we actually have quite a few things coming. We also have quite a few characters getting buffed that I will do a separate video about, and I will link that up in the corner when that's actually done. If you're watching this a little late, then you can see those and you just click that card there. Okay, so we do have a lot of summoning events coming up. So if you are going to spend money, I do recommend today's sponsor, which is Aptoide. How to set it up is you got to have an Android emulator. I'm using BlueStacks, or you got to have an Android phone. You got to download the AppCoins wallet app. There'll be a link down in the description for you to download it. You go here, then you hit the cogwheel in the top right corner. Go down to promo code and put in Kire Mobile 5. That is my promo code here, and that's going to get you an additional 5% off. Then when you go to purchase something, you just see the discounts. So this is a $99.99 pack. I click I want to purchase it, and you'll immediately see savings here, $87.29. Boom, immediately discounts it. Then you get a bonus with your purchase of, in this case, $14.83. And so notice how this AppCoins credit section, I don't have enough. Once you build up enough of this bonus here, when you could one-shot buy something, you could use those credits to buy something else. And that's how you activate that grayed out section. So if I ended up buying this $100 pack, I would save $13 straight up. I'd get $14.83. Then I could buy something that is under that $14.83. Or if I buy multiple things and then build up a credit, let's say of $20, $30, I'd be able to use that credit on something and not have to spend actual money for that. So that's the reason why I like promoting this sponsor in Aptoide, because it literally just saves you money if you are choosing to spend. If you don't spend money, then it doesn't matter, doesn't require anything from you. So thank you for sponsoring today's video, Aptoide, and let's get back into the content. Okay, so the first thing we have going on February 23rd, this is going to be February 23rd to March 1st, we have a free hero regression for these heroes in Fritch, Teru, Almac, Elbic, Anna, Elate, and Olga. These are all the heroes that are going to be buffed here in this upcoming patch, and then during that time frame you'll be able to get a free hero regression for them, even though that they are getting buffed, but they are getting changed. So then this is their way of making it to where you can get your resources back if you don't like this change or you don't want to use them. Here's your chance to be able to revert them during this time. And then if you end up acquiring these characters after this, that's not going to count, or you level them up after, it's not going to count. You're not going to get that free hero regression there. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so then next we have this is the big one. This is going to be from February 24th to February 26th. This is the specified hero Rateup event. This is the one everyone's been saving for, because the heroes that we're going to be able to get for this is going to be Nicholas, Nidrold, Journia, Bari, and Slacto. And then the epics are Rudolph is back, which I think is pretty cool. And they did confirm this earlier that Nicholas always comes with Rudolph, Holder, Anton, and Lester. So out of these heroes, the ones I really like, Nicholas, obviously, this is going to be the best one. This is the one everyone's been saving for. Nidrold's fantastic, totally worth getting. Journia, not so much. Bari is one of my favorite characters in the game. It's a bummer that in the Elemental City that they nerfed burn characters, because I feel like Bari would really shine there, but they intentionally nerfed him preemptively by making all burn 50% reduction. And I feel like for a burst character like burn characters are, that's actually a pretty big nerf. And then Slacto is a really good AoE nuker, but I feel like he really only comes online when you get him to E3. So unfortunately, I think he would be kind of like mid-tier. The ones I really like out of this are Nicholas and Nidrold, and with Bari being like one step down, and then the other two being multiple steps down, those three heroes. And then out of the epics, the ones I'm really excited for, well, Rudolph is so rare. I kind of like him just because he's rare, but I haven't even really read his kit too much / looked at him if he's actually worth building. Holder, I'm not a fan of at all. Anton is probably the best one out of this, and Lester is a pretty solid nuker, but there's significantly better options. And then also just by nature of being an AoE nuker, that's really not that good of a role to fill, in my opinion, or at least not that useful of a role except out of Arena. Okay, so this is the big one. But then of course, see, this is the thing I'm surprised about. It's annoying that they're doing this, but I'm surprised that they're announcing this, because this is a big page out of Raid Shadow Legends book here where they have an event so they've had all these other summoning events. Like right now, currently in the game, we have this event here where it is another one. Not nearly as good, but they have a current event going on right now. And here, it's a 2% Supreme Wish increase. And so this is another thing to kind of get people to use their Supremes. Even though I don't think it's very good, and I think a lot of people don't think it's very good, and if you're in the know, you would know that there's a way better one coming here very soon. But they've been having a lot of these events to try to like get you to pull. And then, even though that they have this really good event here coming for Nicholas, I don't think there's ever going to be a better event than this. At least at the time of this game, you know, I mean, technically there's better events for like value, but the characters you're getting here are just too good not to pass up on, in my opinion. If you've been saving, this is the time to pull. Is going to be for Nicholas, just because not only is it Nicholas, but you know, your consolation prize could be Nidrold, for example. And then some of the other characters are actually pretty good too, but Nicholas is the best character in the game, especially if you get him E3, obviously he's the best, but E1, I would say he's still very good, in my opinion. And then what they're doing, though, this is very Raid Shadow Legends-esque, where they have an event here. It's like, okay, here's the one everyone's going to pull for, but then they have another event where they have this Gift of Heaven. And then if you guys are familiar with this event, they did a Gift of Heaven event for Sigmund. And how you were able to get Sigmund is after 500 pulls, you would get a guaranteed Sigmund, which I think 500 pulls is very in line with like the 150 you would get with Raid. But in this game, you get pulls so much easier. So 500 is kind of what you'd expect there. But not many people are at that point where you can even realistically farm this, because I feel like it's getting to the point where I'm getting a ton of currency, but I'm farming guild boss level 6. So it's like I get one there. I could one key a guild boss level 5, and then I end up spending 150 to be able to do number 4, and then you get all the gems and stuff like that. So it's like getting to the point where if I save up for a month, maybe 2 months, then I would have enough to be able to do this. Whereas most people are not in that situation to be able to do this. And even if they were, you know, well, whatever. But when it comes to the 500, I really don't think that this is something people are a fan of. When it comes to just 500 pulls is just a crazy amount for 99.9% of the player base. And especially after everyone's going to be pulling for Nicholas, it's just a big slap in the face. And it's going to be mainly for whales, because it's like, okay, they've made the best possible event here. Everyone's going to go for Nicholas. Everyone's saving up for Nicholas. They've been advertising going for Nicholas for this, you know, quite a long time. I want to say about 2 weeks now. They've advertised he's coming back and doing all this. And then boom, they're hitting us with the Gift of Heaven event, where it's going to be 500, most likely. You know, we've only had this one time. Maybe they lower it, but it doesn't matter if they lower it. Even if they put it at 100 or 200, maybe even 300, no one besides whales are gonna want to pull for that. You know what I mean? And then this is not enough time frame to be like, okay, I'm skipping the Nicholas event because I don't have enough, but I'm going to save up for the Gift of Heaven and then have enough for that. Then the reward here is a legendary Dragon Eye, so then you're going to be getting base rates. So it's like, I don't even think it's, I mean, it's obviously really good, but at the same time, not really, because you're not targeting a good character. So unless you already have a good character and you just need a legendary Dragon Eye, you can go for the 500. But then when you do pull 500, you're not getting an incentive to pull for them. So it's like, it just seems bizarre that they're doing this. Like, there's the perspective of like, there's two perspectives that I'm thinking of. One for like the company on maximizing profits, and then two for like what's good for the community. And I feel like this fails in all levels. I feel like this is not a profitable move for them. In one, like just because of the timing of this, and then two, that they actually told us about it in advance. So that's going to be another thing that people, you know, and then three, that they put Nicholas before it. This is clearly the better event, going for Nicholas and then putting Nidrold in there. Like, all this does is just make people upset, and then is a bonus to people that are whaling. Because if you're going to whale, you're going to just do this event, you just boom, here's another legendary Dragon Eye. But like, if you're spending money, like this, just, I don't know. I just really don't think that this is succeeding in where they would want it to succeed. Maybe they're just trying this out and this is data for them, and seeing what people are willing to do. But it just seems such a bizarre way of going about it, in my opinion, because it's like, no one's going to be ready to do this. And even if you are spending, I mean, they probably already buy these anyway. like I like the Sigmund one because there was no way to really guarantee a character. So even if you're a whale, you're going to want to, okay, 500, boom. Like for example, Karzak, he really wanted Quinlan. And so he was, you know, going all in and spending for Quinlan, but it still wasn't guaranteed because it was a 10x event. Like I could totally see, like let's say if you're a whale and you really wanted Sigmund, you'd be willing to spend for that because it's like, okay, finally, yes, I'm a spender. Yes, they're finally giving us an opportunity to be able to guarantee this character. And whereas this 500 point Dragon Eye is something that I can only guarantee for $100. So even the whales are going to be like, what's the point? Whereas if you put like someone like a Quinlan or you put someone like Sigmund, you know, like these good characters, they're not like the absolute top tier, but they're really good characters that are unique enough to where people are going to want to spend, then it would make sense for the whales. But the whales are not even going to look at this as something that they want to do. So I know that like I'm kind of all over the place when it comes to my argument here, but it's like my point is it's even the whales are not going to care about this. The free-to-play to light spenders are not going to care about this because they're already going to be tapped anyway. And then you're announcing it to everyone. So it's like all it does is it just seems like even from a profit standpoint doesn't even make sense. And then from any type of player doesn't make sense to do this. So it's just bizarre to me. It's just very bizarre. So I don't know. But when it comes to actually trying to target the best event, hopefully people have saved up. Hopefully you do get lucky and actually pull the right hero in this event where you can get Nicholas, whether it be E0 or this is you're kind of circling back around or you're getting E1, or you get crazy lucky and get E3, which, you know, depending on how much you pull, you might have a realistic chance for that. But that's pretty much it for this video here. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts about these events and the timing that they're doing this. I am going to be having a video about all the buff changes to the buffs for the characters. I think that's just an overall W. I'm really glad that they're doing that. Taking characters that are bad and just boosting them up, I think is very good for the game. I hope they do more of that. I would say so far they're doing a decent release cadence when it comes to buffing existing heroes, but they also are doing quite a bit too much of the summoning events and then the release cadence of new heroes. So hopefully they kind of balance that out a little bit more. But that's pretty much it for this video. You guys have a good one. Peace.